It seems that, similar to a lot of places out west, Tahoe used to be an area where a lot of van lifers would come, but in recent years, no overnight camping signs and no overnight parking has been enforced a little more strictly, so we were able to find a site that was about 30 minutes out from South Lake Tahoe that was a bit of a drive, and it also had absolutely no service, so we really just got there late, slept, first thing in the morning headed out so that we could find some service for work. And for people who are trying to do this the budget-friendly way, there are some free activities in the general area, but overall, at least in the South Tahoe region, there's a bit of a paywall behind accessing the lake. There are a lot of private beaches that have no public access. There was at least one private beach that I saw that did open itself to the public, and it was $30 per person to get in. And then the public beaches typically do require a parking permit, or they'll have you pay for parking, or there's some sort of day use fee. So not a lot of options where you can just pull up, show up, and have a good time for free. At least in the southern area, we are slowly going to make our way up and around Lake Tahoe, and maybe that will change. Right now we're just grabbing lunch and are gonna figure out where we're headed next.
Jack was so nice, he gave me his pullover because it's pretty cold out.
We're staying at the visitor center tonight. We checked in with the staff and they said that they allow overnight parking as long as we're here when the business is closed and that we're out by the morning. Definitely can already say I'm liking Tahoe City a lot more than South Lake Tahoe. It's a lot easier to see the water, it's a lot easier to find parking, but it's definitely on the smaller side, so if you were ever coming out here to have a vacation and you wanted some more things to do, South Lake Tahoe is significantly larger in terms of population and overall size. Jack and I are going to start making dinner, but we have a lot of trash that I'd like to get rid of. One of the things that I like about California is that their trash also offers recycling for free. So basically anywhere out in public where you'd see a trash can, there's also a recycling bin. So I've been able to actually go to Costco and get some things in bulk and actually separate my cardboard and not feel like I'm being bad to the environment. But that also means that I've been hoarding a lot of this cardboard, waiting to actually find a place that I can dump it all, so I'll probably go look for that and then get started on food. Alright, we are making chicken chicken burritos. Got our rotisserie chicken from Costco. Gonna heat that up and make it with some beans. I'm in charge of the minute rice. Yeah. Just gonna grab some plates. So sorry.
Oh, her. Abby, stop. What do you need? I'll grab it. You need a plate?
Yeah, I need one more plate. Oh shoot, I grabbed 3. And then we're doing Greek yogurt and cheese.
already sick.
Top so that it helps melt the cheese. These are so good. They have the perfect level of spice. Alright, we got our PJs on. It's gonna get down to 47 degrees tonight, so it's gonna be a little chilly. But other than that, tomorrow's gonna be our main exploring Tahoe day, so we'll see you tomorrow. I got pretty good sleep here last night, honestly. I was a little nervous at first because there was a review for a snow park, which is like federal lands that are kind of designated for winter activities. That's typically a popular place where there's usually a gravel lot and maybe some bathrooms, and a lot of people will overnight there. And apparently at one of these places, somebody had the cops come. The cop literally told them, you can't just sleep wherever you want in Tahoe. If you don't have a hotel, you need to get out. At least that's what the review said. So I was a little nervous that even though we were in a business that had allowed us, we might still have to deal with that. And we didn't, so that's really good. I really want to get out of here before the employees come for the start of the day. And it's pretty close to a busy road, but honestly I didn't really notice much noise. I didn't really get woken up from anything loud. It was really cold though. It got down to 43 degrees actually. So I have 2 sweatshirts on, my sweatpants, and then 2 socks, and I was pretty fine. But yeah, we're just gonna get started on making coffee, get ready for the day. I don't think we'll be doing any crazy hikes or anything like that, just kind of checking out the general area because it is a weekend. So I imagine it'll be pretty busy. And we have a lot of stops that we want to see. I'm really excited to bring you along and show you where we stop. I really want my coffee to be warm, but my pot is dirty, so I'm just gonna put these glass jars as close to the fire as I can without being worried that they'll crack or break, and hope that they'll just give it just enough warmth that when I actually pour the coffee in, it'll still stay hot. It's a bit silly, but YOLO! Alright, I'm ready to go. We'll see how good this is. Yeah, it's like slightly above room temperature. Also, my hot take, I've been putting coconut water in my coffee and I've been loving it. And I got the like cardboard box style coconut water from Aldi. It was super cheap and I really liked it. And Jack and I talked and we were like, I wonder, you know, if we buy the fancy, more expensive stuff that has to be refrigerated, I wonder if that would be any better, or, you know, if you'd notice a difference. So we did. We got these from Costco, and they taste like sweet corn. I'm not gonna lie. So at first when you drink it, it tastes like coconut, but as you're, you know, the aftertaste, literally what I would imagine if you juiced a sweet corn. And now my coffee kind of has that aftertaste too, and so I don't know that I really like these. Alright, we're ready, so we're gonna head out.
Okay, so today we are at the Donner Memorial State Park, and if you are unaware of what that Donner Party is and what this is memorializing, there's a party of pioneer settlers that left from Illinois on the route to California, and along the way they were had a lot of detours, took a wrong route, and were really delayed once they hit the Sierra Nevada mountains, and got caught up in a really bad snowstorm in this area we're at right here, which is the Donner Pass, which is now named after them on the originally Truckee Lake, now Donner Lake too. But anyways, they got caught up here and were starving. There's a party of 87. Were in such bad shape that many of them had to resort to cannibalism, and I think only 48 survived. So this is kind of a park memorializing that tragedy that happened out here, and we're gonna check that out.
A lot of the time, I had heard of the Donner Party before being out here, and I feel like a lot of the time we associate it with this idea that people had died from natural causes and then were unfortunately the food source for the remaining survivors. It's really important to me that I share with you that on one instance, one of the men from this party did kill his 2 indigenous guides and consumed them. Essentially, the party had talked about potentially killing these guides, and one of the members of the party did let the guides know, so they were able to leave, but unfortunately everybody was just so hungry and in such a weakened state that I don't think they made it very far. And eventually they were found by the man who had first brought up this idea. He shot them, and also, I believe once the members of this party, the few who did remain, made it to their final destination, it was known that that individual had killed those 2 guides, and nothing really happened. The authorities didn't really question him.
It's all very sad. They also kind of read about this a little bit as we were here, seeing what exactly happened, more from just the general knowledge. I feel like everybody's kind of heard of the Donner Party, they ate people up here. Seems like a big thing that really led to this was they decided to take an alternate route through the northern areas of Nevada, which is just a great muddy basin essentially. It was at the Hastings cutoff, and it was that really delayed them by a month, 2 months I think is what it was. They lost a ton of oxen, they lost a ton of their wagons, they were already in really rough shape by the time they got here. It seems like a lot of it is really attributed to this guy Hastings that kind of led them astray because he wanted to have his name attached to some route out on the Oregon Trail.
And they had
really messed them up, and they were apparently ransacked by some of the native tribes out on the way. It was very contentious within their group about which route they took. Eventually made the wrong choice and took the Hastings route.
Now where all of these horrible things happened, there is a memorial park. So this is essentially where some of the cabins were formed, and the Donner Party essentially split up into the cabins that were right here, and then I believe one of them just set up camp on the other side of this creek, which is currently commercialized property now. No. Brunch. Cheers.
Yeah, if you're in Yosemite Village and you're looking at the sourdough, don't buy it. It's not good.
So this is the Truckee Donner Pass Summit Tunnel that was created almost 200 years ago as part of the Transcontinental Railroad. These tunnels were carved by hand, mostly by Chinese immigrants. It was a really dangerous job, and an estimated 500 to 1,000 Chinese laborers lost their lives doing this work. We didn't stay for too long because the wind really picked up in here, but it was so fascinating to see how the talent and hard work of some 15,000 workers made these giant tunnels and ultimately gave America a much safer method of transportation across the Sierra Nevadas.